Hi, this is Mr. Brady. I'm going to give you a quick overview of DNA before you take a quiz on it. What does DNA stand for? DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid. Deoxy means it has no oxygen in it. Ribose is the sugar that's found in it, and nucleic acid means that it's an acid found in the nucleus of most cells. What is the shape of DNA? It is a double helix. It is a twisted staircase. What are the three parts of a nucleotide? A nucleotide is the basic building block of DNA. It's made up of three things. They are a sugar, called deoxyribose, a phosphate, and a base. There are four bases, A, T, C, and G. What are the four nitrogenous bases found in DNA? As I just said, adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. How do the bases pair up? Apples grow on trees and cars go in the garage. A goes with T and C goes with G. How does DNA fit inside a tiny nucleus? It coils up very tightly around proteins called histones. It's called supercoiling. It's a special process where 6 feet of DNA can coil so small that it can fit inside of a tiny nucleus of a cell. How long is a typical piece of human DNA? Approximately 6 feet. What is the sugar of DNA called? It is called deoxyribose. Notice ose at the end. Ose at the end of a word means sugar. For instance, glucose, sucrose, or fructose are all sugars. Fill in the missing numbers. If A is 14, then that means T is 14. If you subtract 14 from 50, then you will find G and C to be 36. Once again, if I give you 14 for A, then there has to be 14 of T, because they always go together. This is called Chargaff's rules. Then subtract one of those numbers from 50, and you'll find out the percentage of the other two bases, 36 and 36 for G and C. It's that easy. Based on DNA, are you more closely related to a grasshopper or an apple tree? To answer this question, you have to think. I'm a human being. What am I more like, a grasshopper or an apple tree? A grasshopper is an animal. I am an animal. A grasshopper has a head. I have a head. It has arms and legs. So do I. Apple trees, even though we are related to apple trees, I'm much more closely related to a grasshopper than an apple tree. During what part of the cell cycle does DNA replication occur? If you remember interphase has three parts, G1, S, and G2. S stands for synthesis. And the purpose of S phase of interphase is to copy DNA. DNA will make an exact copy of it so that when the cell goes through mitosis, PMAT, that each new cell that's formed will have its own copy of DNA. If it wasn't for DNA replicating itself during S phase, after mitosis, one cell would have DNA and the other one would have nothing and would die. Who are the two dudes that discovered the shape of DNA? They were the Englishmen James Watson and Francis Crick. Along with Rosalind Franklin, they discovered the shape and structure of DNA.